What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book and title: Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. It's easy to be fake. Um, for some odd reason, we live in a time where it's very difficult to be real with somebody, but it's very easy to be fake. People like to hear you lie to them. Let them say what they want. No, 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 I don't want you to keep it 100. No, because what winds up happening is when you real with people, they feel some type of way about it, and they don't want to, and they don't tell you that they resent you. But if you lie to them, for some odd reason, they stick around with you. But they resent you on the back end, but they still stay around you because they need to be lied to it to help their egos or whatever it is. You know that's the same thing about church. The modern day church lies to you every Sunday, but it feels good to you. So what are you doing? You go back to feel good again. Then you go back to feel good again. Then you give you money to feel good again because you know the truth, but you just don't want to deal with it. And some for some church is a way to pass the buck another week, another month, another year until the end of your lifetime, and that's your business, whatever. You know, it goes the same way in politics. People don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth. And that's a problem because at the end of the day, if you can't handle the truth, you have to accept the lie. Part of racism and superiority complexes and inferiority complex and sexism and ageism and classism is all people lying to themselves. Because it's easy to lie. It's easy to be fake because you feel better about yourself when you feel like you're better than somebody, and even if the shit ain't real. This is why people um, have these fucking conniption fits when people are head and shoulders above them in some way, shape, or form. Because it's like, wait a minute. In my mind, I've been told that I'm up here and you're down there, and how could you be? Well, that's not my problem. That's your problem. You the one that believed the bullshit. You know, you got pretty people believing they ugly because they listen to a lie. You got ugly people believing they pretty because they listen to a lie. You got fat people believing they in shape because they listen to a lie. You got in shape people believing they fat because they listening to a lie. Like, it's easy to be fake. It's hard to call a spade because for some odd reason, being honest is a culture shock. Being real is a culture shock nowadays. And the crazy part about it is sometimes uh you people are faking being real and looked at as, oh, they're telling the truth. What truth are they telling? Are they telling the truth from your delusional lied fake perspective, or are they actually telling the truth? The sun comes up in the morning, the moon comes up at night. That's the truth? Yeah. Well, okay, so what are you talking about? Well, I feel like, see, the minute you say you feel, that ain't got shit to do with truth. Are we talking experiences? Are we talking facts? Or are we talking feelings? Feelings ain't shit. And that's the problem with this fake culture because we are slaves to our feelings. And people don't want to admit that, but it is what it is, man. You know, we're manipulated by movies, by commercials, by music, by uh, news, by ego stroking. We're controlled by our own ego and sometimes super ego. And the crazy part about it is it's all for a feeling. That's all an impulse. You know, are you hungry? Yeah. Are you hungry because you saw 12 commercials about food, or are you hungry because your body says you're hungry? Yeah, I thought so. You hungry because you saw too many commercials. Now you feel like you want to get something to eat when you ain't really hungry. You know? Do you? I want to be. Uh, I want to live this American dream. Do you want this American dream because it's something that you actually want, or is it something that's been fed to you, so you're gonna go out there and chase it because you think once you get it, you'll feel better? This is why, at the end of the day, a lot of people will tell you money doesn't buy happiness, because that's an internal thing that comes outwardly. But if you spend your time chasing lies, you're chasing a happiness that's already in you. When you, like I talked about religion earlier, when you in church chasing God every Sunday, God is already in you. Instead of looking outwardly, you're supposed to look inwardly. But the problem with looking inwardly is you can't lie to yourself and really believe your bullshit. You know, you when you look in the mirror and you look at your eyes, do you see your own soul, or do you see you bullshitting your way out of your own soul? You know, some people can't handle being real with themselves. Some people can't handle other people being real with them because it's addictive and fun to live the lie. You know, bullshit and ratchetness is more fun than reality. You know, we live in an era where they call shit reality TV that's fake as fuck. That should let you know something. When reality TV is bullshit. That's, I mean, it don't get no faker than that. You know, people um want, how can I say this? People wanna act like they're gonna outlive life. You know, adults. You know, I got time. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know, and the crazy part about it is a lot of this fear to me, maybe not to anybody else, but to me is people are scared of being the best version of themselves. So you lie to yourself to put off the challenge that it takes to mold yourself to be the best you that you can be with your own blood, sweat, and tears. You know, to carve yourself into your best you with your own hands. Um, you can work hard for somebody else, but we're being fake because we're not working as hard for ourselves. You know, maybe you don't have to be perfect, and that's the crazy part about it. I think people believe that they have to be perfect when you don't. You know, we're all perfect because we're all unique. We're all perfect who we are. We choose to poison our perfection with believing bullshit. That's a whole nother story. You know, but it's easy to be fake. It's easy to put on a uniform of this is what I represent. It's easy to put on a uniform of this is who I project out to the world. It's easy to put on a uniform of this is my demeanor, and then, but everybody says you don't know me, you don't know the real me. Well, bitch, you might not know the real you. Now that meant for men or women, if you don't know the real you, who gives a shit if the world knows the real you or not? Like, that's irrelevant because we all know who we are at our core. And some of us have a hard time facing who we are at our core because we want to be a better version of ourselves, but we ain't gonna put in the work. So we're stagnant. Uh, we're stagnant to our own growth, and we would rather orbit around evolution than actually dive into it. This is my opinion. I got shit to do. So peace.